Welcome to our show, Easy Cooking with Ev. I'm Evelyn Minolfo, registered dietitian with ShopRite Parsippany in West Caldwell. And you can tell by the colors here today that our show is going to be all about eating greens. And we're calling our show Great Greens because greens really are great. And a lot of people, when they think of greens, they think of salad greens, but there are just so many other greens. A lot of you may have heard of kale. Kale is most certainly a superfood, very high antioxidant level. A lot of you are using kale in your smoothies, which is fantastic, but there are also so many other ways to use greens. We have a sampling of some of the green vegetables here that we sell at ShopRite. We've got green beans, we've got fresh herbs. Herbs are wonderful. They're actually like eating vegetables. They add lots of flavor and zing to all your dishes. It's the summer. So chop up your fresh basil and your dill and your thyme and add it to your dishes. And then we also have our fresh kale, we have fresh collard greens, and we also have some fresh Swiss chard. So just wanted you to see this. We have a lot of organic lines, and a lot of times organic is just the same price as conventional now here at our ShopRite store. So check out our produce department and look at all the great greens. So we're going to make some quick and easy recipes with our greens today. We're going to start out with cooking greens. We're going to do some kale chips. We're going to do some southern style collard greens. We're going to make some arugula pesto, and we're going to make a green smoothie. So we're going to get it all started in just a minute. We'll be right back. So welcome back. We're going to start with our arugula pesto. And this is a great basic recipe. You could use kale as well. And this is a great way to get your greens in. And I'm really excited about arugula for a lot of reasons. Arugula happens to have the highest content of nitric oxide. For those of you who haven't heard of nitric oxide, that's a really important component to dilate your blood vessels. So it's great for runners, for athletes, and for those of you who want to lower your blood pressure. It's a great natural way to do so. And arugula has the highest content of nitric oxide, also watercress and beets. Some of you are probably drinking beet juice for that reason. So I'm holding up our Wholesome Pantry, our organic line of arugula, washed baby arugula, all ready to go. So we're going to add that to our food processor. And get all the leaves in here. You have to press down. Food safety is very important to us here at ShopRite, and I have washed my hands. My hands are impeccably clean, so I'm going to use my hands. Those are our best cooking tool. And then we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of basil right in there. Garlic. 3 tablespoons of chopped garlic, 1/3 of a cup of pine nuts. Okay. We've got a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and we've got Parmesan cheese. So we're going to blend everything in the food processor. And if you have a food processor, it's really such a great tool. It makes everything so easy. So it just goes right in, and we're going to just go ahead and blend it like so. Fast and easy. This can be used on your vegetables. It could be used on pasta, on your zucchini noodles. You could top it on your grilled meats, chicken or fish. So it's just a great, delicious, easy way to get all that great flavor and nutrition in. So we're going to just watch it. You may want to add a little more oil, but it looks like it's processing nicely here. Okay, and a lot of times you can just stop it and just go ahead and stir, just to make sure it's all blended. And you don't even have to add salt because the Parmesan cheese is salty. That looks great. Just give that a little more time till it's well processed. That's looking perfect. All right. Again, that's a fast, easy way to add flavor to your grilled meats or your vegetables, and it's also great just as a dip. If you have some whole grain crackers to go with it, we're going to actually top our whole grain pasta with this for later. Okay, so while that's processing, I'm going to give it another minute. We're going to make our southern style greens, or collard greens. So traditionally, the Southerners, this is like soul food, use bacon or ham hocks or pork. We actually are using smoked tempeh. We're making a vegan style southern greens. And tempeh is an unbelievably nutritious food. It happens to be fermented soy. It's a whole grain. There's also whole grains in here as well. And fermented foods, you may have heard, are really, really healthy. They have the healthy bacteria or the probiotics in them. So this, again, is a fermented soy. It's called smoked tempeh, and we sell it in our produce section. So we've got our bacon, it's called, cooking away in our pan. I have about a couple of teaspoons of olive oil in here. We're going to just go ahead. This is going to add that smoky flavor that we want for our southern style collard greens, but adding a lot of healthy nutrition as well for those of you who want a more heart healthy dish. So we've got that going. I'm going to give that another minute. This is done. I'm going to shut that off. Perfect. And then we're going to set this aside once it gets nice and toasty. I'm going to give that a minute. Take out our crispy bacon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let it cool down. We're going to crumble it up. And we're going to serve this with our greens in place of bacon. Okay, so you can see here, when you had looked at the greens before, you can buy them that way and wash them yourself and dry them yourself. Or, ta-da, it can be all done for you. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of oil in my hot pan. Going to saute some onion, sweet onion, red onion, whatever you like. Get that going. We're going to let these caramelize. Caramelize means when it turns brown. The natural sugars in the onions will caramelize as it cooks, turning it even sweeter and more mellow. Get that nice caramelized flavor. And we get that going. Now, if any of you have made collard greens, you know you'll cook these ahead of time. And what I did was I took a pot of boiling water and I cooked them in the boiling water for about 10 minutes and drained it. And that water is actually really valuable. It's the cooking greens water, and that's loaded with vitamins. So it would be a really great idea to save it. You could use it as vegetable broth in your soups. And I actually use that water to cook the pasta that we're going to use for the arugula pesto later. So don't throw that water out. Use it. It's valuable. So here's our onions cooking away. Letting those turn nice and brown. In just a minute, we're going to add our cooked greens. So I'll show you what that looks like. So hard to believe this whole bag shrinks down to this when you cook it. So again, cooked it in 10 minutes in boiling water, drained it. So that's what that looks like, and it's a nice bright green color. We're going to go ahead and add our greens. Now the collard greens are in the cruciferous family, along with kale and broccoli. Cruciferous vegetables are very, very high in antioxidants and contain a chemical compound that's actually been shown to fight cancer. So eat all of your cruciferous vegetables. There's broccoli, there's cauliflower, cabbage, bok choy, Napa cabbage, kale, collard greens. There's so many different kinds. So while that cooks, I'm going to give that a minute. We're going to start adding the components to our sauce. This is what the fake and bacon looks like, smoky tempeh. Okay, so now we're going to add half cup of broth. We have some vegetable broth here. And this technique is actually called braising. Braising your greens, it's a very popular technique. And the braising just tenderizes the greens, keeps them moist, delicious. Give that a minute. And then the recipe also calls for a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of butter. So you can use that, but again, this is heart healthy. So we are, instead of using butter, we're using oil. So we're going to use that. Tablespoon of oil. All right, so we've got our onions cooking with the broth. You could use honey, whatever you want to use for the sweetener. And then we've got a tablespoon of red wine vinegar right in there. Give that another minute. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And you always want to taste first because you don't want to add too much salt. This is heart healthy. I'm going to give this a little taste. Oh, wow. It's got like a nice sweet sour component to it. And because of all the seasonings, you don't even need a lot of salt. I'm just going to add a little dash, my salt and pepper mixture. That's great. And then what we'll do is we will crumble our smoky tempeh right in, and we will have our Southern style greens, exceptionally heart healthy. All right, so I'm just going to lower this, and we're going to move on to our arugula pesto. It's all done. And we will set that up with our pasta. So next, since this is all done, let's move on to our green smoothie. I love my NutriBullet. A lot of you probably have this at home. Makes life so easy. Such an easy way to get fruits and vegetables into your diet every day. Plant foods, making the majority of your meals every day plant foods, can be such a game changer in your health. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience. It was a game changer in my health. I was a runner and I had bad knees, and it was really hard for me to get around. And when I decided to include greens into my daily diet every day, mostly plant foods, vegetables, beans, fruits, and the animal foods for me were more of a side dish, I have to say my knees are so much better. So when people come to me, I'm one of the registered dietitians here in the store, and ask me what my advice is for combating diseases, and this is all diseases, whether it's arthritis, whether it's cancer, whether it's diabetes, whether it's heart disease, I say eat the plant foods. Greens every day, some beans, all your rainbow of colors of fruits and vegetables, some whole grains, and again, animal foods on the side. And I'm sure you'll see a big change in your health. So again, this is an easy way to start getting those foods into your diet every day. So I'm doing about 50% green. I'm doing some of our organic, ready wash, ready to go kale greens. Makes it real easy. Just keep it in the fridge. Okay, and I'm going to do some fruit. Got our Wholesome Pantry organic private label line. Frozen, Keep this in the freezer, you'll be ready to go. Got some mango chunks here. Well, superfoods, vitamins, antioxidants, with the mangoes and the blueberries. Try to have some berries every day too. Berries are a superfood. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to add some fluid to this. And you can do any fluid you want. You can do water, you can do juice, you could do the low-carb juice, you can do almond milk, you can do coconut water. We happen to have some organic aloe water here. And a little bit of organic juice or aloe water is very soothing if you have irritable bowel, stomach issues. It really can help you. So, and we sell that here. So here we go. I'm going to do some of that. And I'm going to do some of the almond milk. What the heck? And seeds are another power food. Some of you may have heard me say that before. You can add seeds. I think I have some pumpkin seeds. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some pumpkin seeds. You can do flax seeds. Flax seeds are fabulous. Chia seeds are fabulous. All super power foods. Healthy fats, omega-3s. Okay. And in we go. Plug it in. There we go. Because we use the blueberries, we're getting more of a purple smoothie, which is fine. It's a purple and green smoothie. We're getting our rainbow of color. So you could just see how really, really, really easy this is. Our greens look fabulous. They smell really good too. So these are very easy techniques. This is a very easy technique to cook your greens. You can do Swiss chard, spinach, kale, collard, any of your greens. And this is such a great time of the year, the summer, at the farmers markets, where you can get this all fresh. You could even do the green garlic that they have now and add that to it. That's great. This is done. Voila. Okay, so we've got our smoothie. We've got our pesto. And look how fast and easy all this is. And last but not least, we are going to make kale chips. So I know a lot of you say, oh, kale, you know, I hear it's good for me, but I don't like it. So if you're not a fan of kale, there's so many ways you could use it. You can make it in pesto. You can make it in smoothie. People really love these kale chips. So I recommend that you try it. Again, I'm doing it real easy, since this is easy cooking with Ev, and I know I want you guys to try it. I want it to be easy for you. This is all pre-washed and ready to go. So, this is such a simple technique. We've got our kale. We'll put a little oil, about a tablespoon of oil. Okay, and we're going to just mix that up. And you want to make sure that your leaves are torn, so they're like that, because you're going to make chips out of them. And really all the work is done for you. You just have to go in there and just make sure they're, you know, kind of uniform size. And you know what, the first couple times I tried kale chips, they never came out right, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then I learned, because luckily the recipe is on the back of here, but I also learned that when you put your chips out on the sheet, you want to do it in a single layer. And then they'll get nice and crispy and they'll cook evenly. So we're going to go ahead and just put that right on our pan. And I'm going to say this would probably be good for 2 pans, because again, we want to do a single layer. We don't want to pile it up or it won't get nice and evenly crispy for us. I'm just going to do this one, and then we'll do another pan with the rest of it. 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes until they crisp up and get brown. And that's it. We've got Chef Mark Muniz. We have a special treat today. Took a little time out of his busy schedule to show you how to make a really phenomenal, quick and easy kale salad with blueberries and chicken. So he'll be next.
So we're here in the Greens Extravaganza, and what we're doing with our greens this time is a baby green salad with a sauteed seared chicken and a honey vinaigrette with apple cider. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to take our cherry tomatoes, sear them off in the pan a little bit, give them a little bit of color. Nice hot saute pan, a little bit of oil. And then we're going to take our cherry tomatoes and just throw them in the hot pan. All you want to do is give them a little bit of color. You just want to sear them off a little bit, bring out some of the flavor, and then just take them off. See them smoking? Once they're smoking, just put them on the side and keep the pan hot. Take that same pan and we're going to take our chicken breast. Now you can do chicken breast for your protein. You can do shrimp. You can do steak, whatever you would like to do. Right now we're doing chicken breast seasoned with a little bit of lavender oil, a little bit of salt, pepper. And just put them in the real hot pan. Now, if you want to do these on the grill, you can also do them on the grill. Same seasoning, either way. Season them up a little bit. What I like to do is give them a little bit of color on one side. They don't take long. The pan is nice and hot. Flip them over once. And if we're doing it in the stove top, in the pan, I just put it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. As those are cooking in our oven, we'll turn our stove off. We're not going to need that anymore. And what we're going to do is now we're going to prepare our salad dressing. So to start, we have our chopped shallot, our chopped garlic, and our honey. So in any salad dressing, you want to make an emulsification. Most salad dressing have an oil and vinegar base with a mustard as a emulsifier. We're not going to use a mustard, we're going to use honey this time. So we have honey, clover honey, some garlic, baby shallot. So shallot comes from the onion family. It's just a small onion, a little bit sweeter. If you want to use a Vidalia onion, you could also use a Vidalia onion. I like to use a shallot. It's nice and sweet, never bitter. We're going to chop it real fine. You want to use a red onion. You want to use cipollini. Any kind of a nice sweet onion will go with this. Put our onions and our garlic in the bowl. Take our vinegar. Take our yogurt, Greek yogurt. If you don't want to use Greek yogurt or any kind of yogurt, you don't have to use a yogurt for dairy restrictions. It's just going to add a little creaminess to the dressing. So once you have your base down, you're going to take your oil, drizzle it in a little bit. So it's 3-to-1 on the ratio with the dressing and the vinegar, for the vinegar. 3 oil, 1 vinegar. And there's your dressing. We take our dressing, put it to the side, get our greens, our baby greens. So our baby greens that we're using today is baby kale. So baby kale, you can eat just like it is. You don't have to cook it at all. It's got a texture and a flavor of arugula. It's excellent. It's and it's actually really good for you. So we're going to take our greens, take our nice fresh blueberries. This time of the year in the summer, they're excellent. They're like little grapes. They're so big. Nice red onions. You want to use any other kind of onions. You don't want to use onions at all because you do have a shallot or an onion in the dressing. You got your seared tomatoes. Put those in. Then we take our dressing. Just sprinkle some of the dressing on. After that, we just mix our salad. And then we just plate it from, you can eat it with the chicken on the side, or like I said, if you want to do shrimp, you can do steak. And we have one already done. Just take the chicken out of the oven, julienne it a little bit, and you're all set. Have a nice summer.
So welcome back. We've plated up all our great green dishes. So again, just to review, Chef Mark Muniz put together this beautiful, easy kale salad with the baby kale. And again, the baby kale is available in our produce department. And we have all kinds of varieties. You can get baby kale. You can get all your greens for your salads. Real easy to do. And you don't even have to wash it. It's all done for you. And then he's got blueberries. Blueberries are in season, Jersey fresh blueberries with heirloom tomatoes and the easy dressing that he made for you. And then we've got our Southern style collard greens made the healthy way. We've got a little sweet sour zing to it. And we just cooked up some spinach fettuccine noodles and topped it with our delicious arugula pesto. And we've got our kale chips. These are actually chips. They're crunchy and delicious, real easy to make. And we've got some of the pesto and some whole grain crackers that you can use with your crackers or vegetable dip, real easy to do. And we have our purple green power smoothies. Again, a real easy way for you to get your greens in. So, hope you guys are able to get greens in every day. Hope these gave you some ideas. You can even throw greens in soups. It's summer now, but in the cooler weather, feel free to do that as well. Try to eat as many plant foods as you can every day. Our dietitians say eat a rainbow of color every day, and you will, the proof will be in the pudding. You will feel so much better. And again, because of what I've experienced, I'm very passionate about promoting that for everybody, to eat greens and fruits and vegetables every day. So thanks so much for joining us for Great Greens, and hope to see you in good health soon again.